I have to make a ton of Blue Spirit mask edible toppers. So the best way to do it is to make a mold. And I'm going to show you how to make a silicone mold. First off, I have to make the figurine. And so I'm using modeling chocolate because it's a very good sculpting tool. And I'm so sorry I didn't show you that process, but this is all about making the mold. So that's what we're going to focus on. And I like to use tinfoil because it's a readily available material. Also, it's cheap, it's lightweight, it's easy to manipulate, and it holds its shape very well. So I just need to approximate the size. You don't want it too big because you're going to waste too much silicone product, but you want it large enough to where the edges around are going to create a stable mold for you. So I'm just marking that out using my straight edge to get a straight line for my mold. Now, I don't know if this is the best way to do this, but it works really well for me. And like I said, it's material that pretty much everyone has on hand. And it's really easy to pull away from the mold once everything has set up. So we're just going to trim off the excess. And then I'm going to show you how to fold up the corners in a way that comes out really clean and is easy to do. All right, so we're just going to mark these diagonals, and you're going to see that I'm going to fold the tinfoil on this line. I guess I should call it aluminum foil, whatever. You know what I mean. All right, so you see it gets a clean corner that way. And there you have it, pretty easy peasy. Now, this next step is the most important step. You have to make sure that this mold is 100% leak proof. And so I like to use Scotch tape to secure any possible opening because I've had them leak before and haven't noticed. Like I poured the silicone and then come back a half an hour later and half of it has leaked out somewhere where I didn't secure it. So I like to make sure all of the openings are sealed. In this particular one, I just put the tape around the edge, the bottom edge, just to create a little bit more sturdiness. But there are times where I go all the way around with Scotch tape just to ease my anxiety because if the silicone leaks out, it's quite a headache. And because, as you'll see later, when you take out the figurine from the mold, the original figurine pretty much gets destroyed. So you get one shot to make these. So yeah, do your diligence and make sure it's all sealed. Now I'm putting my figurine inside of the aluminum foil mold, and we're just going to press him down to make sure he's nice and stuck to the bottom. Then I got this food safe silicone off of Amazon. I'll put the link in the description below. And you just mix equal parts of the solution A and the solution B. And then you're just going to stir it for about 4 minutes. And you don't want to stir too quickly because then you'll create too many air bubbles. And if you do have any air bubbles, just give it a tap to get those to come up to the top. Then I like to pour the silicone off to the side of the figurine. I don't pour directly on top of it until it's all covered, just to prevent air bubbles from forming around the figurine itself. And you're going to want to have enough silicone to where it covers the figurine at least like 1/4 of an inch. That way it's not too thin, at the deepest part of the figurine you've made. And so this set up in a couple of hours, depending on your weather and your climate. Times vary. And see how easy the aluminum foil peels off. And now this is what I mean. See how my figurine gets destroyed when I pull it out. So really make sure, again, that you create a leak-proof mold. So we're just going to clean this out, give her a little rinse, and dry the mold off really well before we start making our toppers. Oh, yeah, I forgot. So you're going to want to cut off these little excess pieces of silicone that sort of get under your figurine just so the opening is clean. And now you can see it's nice and flexible and we can start making our toppers. So I'm just going to brush a little cornstarch inside so that the fondant doesn't stick, and we're just going to press the fondant into the mold. You can use modeling chocolate or fondant, it's up to you. Okay, so this was my first attempt, and it was a fail because, as you will see, his little tusks did not come out. Like, the fondant didn't go deep enough into the hole. So now I'm pressing little balls of fondant into the tusks first, and then I'm going to put, brush them with a little bit of water so that the fondant I stick on top sticks to the tusks, and then hopefully when we unmold it, the tusks will be there. And look at that. Sure enough, they are. So I'm happy with this. So now we can move on to painting. Okay, and again, this took me 2 attempts. I tried first to use gel color, and it was not the move because here I'm diluting it with a little vodka, but it was way too streaky, too translucent. Also, I started off with this thin brush. That also was not the move because it was such a pain in the butt. Getting clean edges and lines was near impossible using a paintbrush. So after struggling for quite some time, I finally got a light bulb and a light bulb moment idea, and I moved on to a different tool, which was this. This is like a little balling tool. It's metal. It's used for nail art, and it's a dream because it makes really clean edges. So I suggest you get some of these for yourself. I will also put them in the link below. And I wasn't ready to give up on the gel color, so I tried to go in with a large brush, hoping maybe with a larger brush it would make a clean, less streaky thing, but absolutely not. It was terrible and I was not happy with it. So attempt number 2, I moved on to these Karen Portoleo paints. They are edible paints and they paint more like oil paint, whereas the gel color is more like watercolor. So these are more opaque, not streaky. I love them. And so I just mixed some blue and white, and then it was the blue goes a little green, so then I had to try to neutralize some of the green, and the way you do that is by adding a little pink or red. So you'll see that I do that to get a color that matches more to the Blue Spirit mask color. And I dilute it again with a little vodka. Okay, so first off, I started by blocking out the large areas just to get coverage faster with my larger paintbrush. And then I went back in with my little nail art tool to get around the brows and the nostrils and cheeks and the mouth and all of the details that needed more of a crisp line. And this actually ended up going pretty quickly. I was happy with the process. So basically, the rest of the video, we're just going to show a sped up version of me painting out the mask. And at the end, I'll show you a fraction of what I made. It was a lot. And as you can see, this was a fairly tedious project. But I really hope you enjoyed the way they turned out.